So now let's practice changing coordinate systems by just having a look at this example here. So we can see this is just our cart on the rail with the pendulum hanging down, and as you might guess, because we've got a pendulum here, one of the coordinates that we want to use is theta. But what could the other one be? So if we have a think about the way this system moves, we can go, well, the two important things are the amount that this is moved, and then the angle that this makes. So in that case, our two coordinates will be this big X here and theta. So this is our Lagrangian, half big M x big X dot squared plus a half little m x dot squared plus y dot squared minus mgy. We want to convert these x's and y's and big X's into angles and big X's only. So we know if we have a look at this triangle here, we can find that this and this, I'll just finish off drawing that properly. This will be L times the sine of theta, and this will be L times the cosine of theta. So we know that our y, this indicates our y, so we can write y equals L times the cosine of theta. And our x coordinate will be this plus the amount that our cart has moved. So we can write our x coordinate as big X plus L times the sine of theta. And of course, big X remains as, well, big X. So now let's find these time derivatives. So y dot, we need to differentiate this with respect to time. So L is just a constant, so it's only the theta that changes. So remember, if we differentiate cosine of theta, and seeing as theta depends on time, we have to use the chain rule. So we end up with L times by theta dot, it's the derivative of the bit in the trig function, times by cos theta becomes negative sine theta. So y dot becomes negative L theta dot sine theta. Now let's have a look at x. So let's differentiate big X with respect to time. That's easy, that just becomes big X dot. And then we do the same thing up here, we apply the same rules. Sine, when we differentiate it, goes to cos. So we end up with x, big X dot, plus L theta dot cos theta. And x dot, of course, simply equals x dot. So now I'm going to rewrite this in terms of these coordinates. So I can write big L is equal to a half big M x dot squared plus a half m. We have my x dot plus L theta dot cos theta all squared plus negative L theta dot sine theta all squared minus m times g times y, which is L cos theta. So I know that looking at this seems like it's a lot more tricky than this. And on the face of it, yeah, it definitely seems to be so. However, if we think about it, there's actually three variables here. There's big X, and little y. While in this equation, there's only two. There's big X and theta. So we've managed to cut down the number of variables that our equation has, which while at first this doesn't seem like it's very nice, you will find that it actually works out quite neatly when it comes time to actually solving for the equations of motion.